It's Tuesday and Monday, not very eventful, so busy. Managed to get a couple of commissions done, which is always a good thing. And being Tuesday today, we are doing some more casting of that gold chain, and fingers crossed this will be the last time I will be casting these particular links. I've just done some investment. I put a little post up on Instagram just a second ago. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Andrew Berry UK, and I got this far. We've just done the flask with the remainder of the links. Sit down. With the remainder of the links all nice and invested. And then this afternoon we will be looking at casting the remainder of the links. And the reason why I don't cast all the links in one go is the fact that if I'm using the client's gold, which I am in this case, you gave me 180 grams of gold, there is no way I'm going to cast every single link, because it's not just the links you've got to think of, it's the sprues and the tree as well. So out of that 180 grams, I've got about 80 or 90 grams actually worth of links. The rest of the gold was the sprues and the tree. So now I am putting that into the next one, which is the one I'm doing now. And again, I'm melting about 180 grams, which means I only have to add a certain amount of my own gold to the melt. I've tried to make the sprues as short as possible, but there's obviously going to be some excess gold, and I can't just use the client's gold every single time. I always have to add some extra gold of my own to make up for the sprues and the trunk, which yes, I do get back. Obviously it's my gold and I do keep it. And then I always try and give the client any spare links that we've got left over, just so they have back their amount of gold that they've given us. Oh, that was my wife, Kerry, just messaging me. We always weigh the links once we have cut them off the sprues. That is the weight we go by. We don't go by the weight once they've been filed and buffed and polished, because we're going to be losing gold. Yes, I know I've got it in the lemel, but that doesn't count. So when we cut the links off the sprue, that is the weight we put down. If the customer asks us for 180 gram chain, we will make the chain as near as possible to 180 grams once they have been cut off the sprues, not after. Does that make sense? Hope it does. Well, as you can most probably see, I have had a haircut. About flipping time, I know, but look at it. What's happened to it? And why is it that I was gonna say it'll be okay when I get home, give it a wash, but why does everyone say that? Especially the women. They come out of the hairdressers and they go, oh, it'll be nice by the time I get home and I'll give it a wash and do it in the style that I like it. You pay all this money to have your hair cut, and it's never in the style that you want it. I just don't understand it. Okay, it's not too bad. As long as it starts covering up my bald patch, we'll be fine. Hell, it's taken a lot off, isn't it? Gee, look, it goes right back. I'm gonna have to have a comb over. Oh, this way. I'm gonna have to have a comb over, I reckon, just to hide it. No. That's fine. Alright, we are doing the burnout cycle today. This is some more lost wax casting. We are going to be using the vacuum casting machine a little bit later on this afternoon. We've done the flask, and now I have put it into the kiln this morning, and it's about 3 hours since I did that, and the temperature 726 degrees centigrade. That is red hot. And if you don't believe me, 728 and red hot. It's got another hour and 46 at that sort of temperature. It'll hold it at that temperature, and then it'll start to come back down to the required temperature that we need to enable us to cast it. We're not going to use our centrifugal casting machine today. It's just far too dangerous when you have 6 ounces of gold flying around. 180 grams, what's that retail? 180 times 40.
7,200.
When you have a retail value of £7,200 worth of gold. I don't fancy that spinning around and round and round and round. I'm happy just to pour it into the flask when it's in that hole there, and it will vacuum it, but I don't fancy £7,000 worth of gold spinning around and round. For me, just a little bit too risky. Alright then, the time has come to start melting this gold down. The flask now is been at 500 degrees for quite a few minutes. We've got 18 minutes left on this cycle. A black heat. We're going to melt this down using the sievert torch. I do have a little present coming later on in the week. I've bought myself a furnace which is going to save me the hassle and the time and the noise of melting all this amount of gold and silver, it's the later stage, by hand and using the sievert torch. So it's going to be a lot easier, a lot better using the furnace, and I'm going to do a bit of an unboxing and I'm going to show you that when that arrives later on this week. But in the meantime, I can start melting down and doing the not very eventful and exciting vacuum casting. And I know I keep going on about it, but this now is my favourite bit, where we pick up the flask, put it in the water. Because of the thermal shock, the investment starts to erupt and break up, and then we're left with that gorgeous gold tree. Although it won't look gold, it'll look black, but it is a lovely gold tree of sprues and links ready to be cut off. Like the glasses, they are cool. So there's no colour on that button now. And I'm going to pop it into the bucket. Get a bit closer for you. That is the noise. Okay, going in for it. Should be nice and cool. The water is actually warm. And if I can get it out of here, it's a bit of a tug. Hey. So all of this investment now that's caught up on all of these links, we're just going to wash all that off. And then we're back to cutting. All this investment has to be taken off all the links. It's just there, it just needs a bit of brushing or a bit of a pressure wash on this, just to try and get all this investment, that's all the white stuff you can see, to get all that off. Then we can crack on making the rest of the chain. It's Wednesday again. And yes, I should be at home editing today, but I'm not. I'm on the road again, as I was last week. I'm on the road to Birmingham, to Hockley. I have a couple of meetings planned today. One is with Jen. She is the new showroom manager of Sutton Tools. Just to catch up, she's fairly new. She's only been in the job for about a month. Yeah, a month, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. and I just need to go over a few things, have a chat, see what's new, see what the plans are now for the coming year. I'm just going through a lovely town called Usk. It's a beautiful, beautiful little river I'm just going over, little humpback bridge. Gorgeous place. It's still early, it's 6:30 in the morning. Another early start for me. 5 o'clock and a full day of meetings. Absolutely shattered. But I've just popped into a small little cafe here in Hockley, Coffee Tales, and I've called in just as they were about to close. But look what they've done for me. That's my carrot cake. Quick bite to eat before I go home. Whenever I come to Birmingham, I always try and leave Birmingham before rush hour, because trying to get out of Hockley is a nightmare. So for those who are following me on Facebook, you will know that I put up a couple of pictures. Bear with. You'll know that I put up a couple of pictures showing my latest piece of equipment. And again, I go on about this all the time. My gosh, I'm a bit pink in this light. Let me sit down and have a chat with you. Not gonna stand up. I have a mental list in my head of tools and equipment that I want, that I would like. It's in here. It's not written down, otherwise I think I'd be really, really scared. It's up here, and then I go looking on places like eBay, I look on the internet and the forums and the Facebook groups, and I look to see what people are selling. I don't like this light, it gets me very, very red. That's a bit of a better light. And I look around and see what's what. And if there is something for sale on my I would like equipment list, well then I watch it, and if it goes at a good price, I will buy it. If it doesn't go at a good price and it's too expensive, well then I won't buy it. It's not, let's say, a need. If I need something, I will go out and buy it because I need it. If I want it, I would like it. It's something that I want for the future. And if it comes about now at a brilliant price, well then I would just go and buy it. And this is my latest addition. Achtung, German, gold, brun. You've seen me when I've been melting down for when I come to do some lost wax casting. I use the Sievert tank and the Sievert torch. But recently I've been melting down to 180 grams of gold. That's like 6 ounces of gold. That's a lot of gold to melt down. And the torch, although it does it as a pretty good job, it's noisy, it's loud, and I have to have Jason up here as well when we're doing some casting. So I've been on the lookout for a furnace for a long, long time. I've been wanting one, and if one came about at a good price, well then I would snap it up. And actually this came up on eBay not so long ago. In fact, it's about a week and a half ago. Such a fantastic price, less than half the cost of a brand new one. And I'm really excited. I've bought a couple of new graphite crucibles as well, because I don't want to trust the old crucible that was in it, because I think the guy was using silver, but if I'm going to be using gold, I need a new crucible in there. So let me just quickly show you what it is. And all it is this. This is a melting furnace. The lid opens up, and inside we have a crucible, a graphite crucible. I've bought myself a couple of new graphite crucibles as well. These take around about 1,000 grams of metal, and there's no way I'm going to be melting that sort of metal. It's got a nice handle on the top there, comes down, on-off switch, and this is going to go to 1090 degrees centigrade. It's 15 degrees inside at the moment. We can program this to whatever temperature we want, because gold melts at a different temperature to silver, and this has a maximum temperature of 1100 degrees centigrade, which means that I will be able myself personally to put all my scrap in here, or all the metal that I want to be melted down in the crucibles, turn the machine on without me having to stand above it melting it down. I can do the lost wax, I can do the burnout in here, take the flask from here, I can put it into this, which is my vacuum casting machine here, put it into there, come back then to the furnace, lift up the molten metal with the supplied tongs, and simply pour it into the flask, which makes my life a lot easier. Also makes Jason's life a lot easier, because one less thing that he has to do, and it's going to be a lot better because I can melt down huge, large quantities, which means I can make and I can do bigger flasks than this. The maximum amount that the crucibles will hold is around about 1,000 grams. 1,000 grams of silver, 800, 900 grams of gold. There's no way I'm going to be melting anywhere near that sort of quantity, but it's going to be a fantastic addition. It's quick, it's all the way up to 40 degrees already. I had a quick go with this yesterday, and within about 10 minutes it had gone up to around about 450, 500 degrees. So I'm really excited to try this out, and hopefully next week I'm going to be putting it through its paces and doing some casting, because I got some little silver suspenders. Some suspenders that go on top of medals. I've got a whole load of those to do. Those are my waxes there. You can just about see. Anyway, you'll see them next week when I cast them, and I'm going to be playing around with the furnace to see how it performs.